Hey guys, Mikey here from startcrypto.online. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on BTC price while we're doing this. So what I'm going to do quickly is post up. I'm doing a one-day workshop to get people prepared for the next bull run, whenever that may happen. And just post that link in the group. This will be on my website tonight, guys. Okay. And it's going to be a local event, so it's limited to 30 places, and it's be held at 8 Mile Plains in Brisbane, Queensland. So if you're in Queensland, probably a good idea to jump on there. A few spots have already been taken, so limited to 30 spots for this one. Already booked a venue and all that sort of stuff, so it's going to be a good time. Again, guys, if you don't already have an account here, pick one here for the beginners course to get prepared for the bull market, next bull market. Okay, we've seen some huge moves today so far over the last 24 hours. At the moment, Stratus 74%, so that's pretty huge. A lot of coins in the 10 to 20%, pretty much a full green day. You know, a couple of these are stable coins. They're obviously not going to move up and down much in percentage, but yeah, pretty great green day today. And what we can see on Bitcoin price at the moment is over the last couple of days, we've smashed back above, at least on a 4-hourly candle at the moment, we've smashed straight through this previous support and resistance level around the 3600. So that was coming out of this trend line, this bearish trend line here, down to almost 3k, and we've broke out of that. We've crossed back over there, so we're now above the 50 EMA. Okay, at least on the 4-hourly chart at the moment. Now, 50 EMA previously had been very well respected for a long time, since the drop from just above 6k. So it's been very well respected, you know, for at least the last five and a half weeks, even as low as the 4-hourly chart. So it's been good to get back above that. We've smashed straight through this level here. Now, if we continue, you know, continue bullish from here, short-term bullish, we'll be approaching the 4 to 4.2, 4.3k level. Okay, and that's where the 200 EMA comes into play as well. So if we zoom out a little bit, guys, obviously we're not, you know, we're not in a bullish market per se yet. Now, as you can see, obviously we're only at Wednesday today. Our weekly candle so far, you know, is bullish engulfing. Now, doesn't matter until the candle's closed, because this could just be a massive wick up to the upside, and then we could fall lower. Okay, so this could just be a bull trap. What we want to see is obviously on the lower time frames. You know, we've started to get movement to the upside on the 1-hourly, the 4-hourly, and the daily at the moment. Now, what we want to see is a weekly close. If we get a weekly bullish engulfing here, we could definitely see a little bit more to the up move. Okay, keep in mind, from even just a Fibonacci level from our move downwards from 6.2, we're obviously well away from any of our good fib levels. Okay, so you know, when I say that if we continue bullish, we're going to be approaching that 4 to 4.3k level. We're looking to that's not even the first decent fib level for a retracement. Okay, so don't get all antsy-pantsy yet, guys. You know, we're definitely not out of bearish territory yet. We're still bearish at the moment. You know, if this was to, you can see a longer term bearish trend line here. If we get a pullback to this trend line, as far as a weekly candle goes, and we hit somewhere around the 50 to 61.8 fib level retracement, you know, there's no reason why that can't continue to the downside. So don't go all helter-skelter jumping in everything yet. Obviously, we've got some good altcoin moves. So nothing wrong with checking other altcoins for good possibility from the bottoms. Okay, I always try and put the most emphasis on the higher market cap coins first. Okay, so top 10, for example, if I was to find a setup in the top 10, and then I found the exact same setup on, like, you know, number 100 coin, for example, I'd take the one in the top 10 at the moment for me, because it's a if we're going to see movement, good movement, we're going to see good movement in the top 10 as well as any other shit coins. And don't be scared to take your profits in this market at the moment, because obviously this is an update. We've had quite a few of these kind of days, you know, over the last the whole year at some point. So don't get getting all crazy at the moment, guys. You know, we're not out of the bearish water yet. So just wanted to give you guys an update there. Anyone got any questions from the chat? Happy to answer some questions. Just to recap, guys, wanted to go live tonight to just cover this price action, and also the workshop day that I've set up. So 13th of January next year, which is a Sunday. 8 Mile Plains, Brisbane, Queensland. 10 AM to 4 PM. We're going to go through a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow, what's today? Thursday. Tomorrow, I'm also going to be down Gold Coast talking at an event. Bitcoin Beyond Beginners Gold Coast Free. Okay. I'm going to be talking at this event here, so come say hello if you're down this way, guys. I'll post the link in the chat. You know, come say hello. More than happy to chat. I'll be sticking around there for a little bit. And yeah, that kicks off at 6:30 tomorrow night, and it's at Varsity Lakes, Gold Coast. Okay, so if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, come down, say good day. Have a chat. There's a few other talkers in there as well, obviously. A couple of different guys. So it should be a good night. But yeah, we want to see some more bullish up move. Now we did get some. We've been talking also about Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Cash SV, with, you know, flipping in, so on and so forth. So my eventual my longer term play for those two is still seeking parity. If either one delves away from parity from each other, maybe a good opportunity to trade long or short, whichever one you prefer. So if you prefer Bitcoin Cash ABC, for example, and you see that it's dipped, maybe a good opportunity for you to buy if it's not at parity with SV. Vice versa, if you see it spike very high and SV drop. Overall, these coins are effectively, in terms of value and stuff, they're pretty much the same at the moment. Bitcoin Cash ABC has obviously got the merchant adoption and stuff behind it, which they've been working on. But ultimately, from a coin developer point of view, it's pretty much the same coin, but they're changing a few features. So, you know, as far as price and parity goes, everyone that had Bitcoin Cash has got Bitcoin Cash SV. So you can see why prices are going to be chopping and changing around in those. Some guys are going to be dumping their SV, some guys are going to be dumping their ABC, so on and so forth. So, having said that, Bitcoin Cash, which one I refer to ABC as, is the one still just called Bitcoin Cash. This has had a nice jump today. So good to see the crypto market overall performing well over the last 24 hours. Anyone that got Stratus at a low price, obviously that's a massive gain. But like anything at the moment, until we're bottoming out in the market, you want to wait for that bottom to come into play with your altcoins and stuff, then get in on the retraces to take them to the upside more. that's what I'm doing anyway. So that's what I recommend to other people as well, as it's been very good for me in the past doing this exactly the same thing. Anyone on Facebook chatting? No. If you missed it, guys, I did do a live stream a couple of days ago. If you can watch the first 14 minutes of this live stream, okay? If you can't catch the first 14 minutes, if you can't catch the first 14 minutes, or you know, bit of ADD going on, can't sit there for 14 minutes, watch from at least 11 minutes till 14. Let's put this in chat. I go over some very good stuff here in regard to the biggest crypto mistakes of 2017, 2018 that most people would have been making, and it's all around the emphasis on getting everybody prepared and into the right state of mind and into the right learning framework for your technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and your risk versus reward and so on for the next bull run. Okay, so we know the market is going to bottom out at some point. We know another bull run is coming. It's just a matter of when. We don't know when exactly, but we all need to be prepared for it. Okay, so at the moment, I'm just trying to educate the emphasis on being ready and being trained up, learning now, so you're ready for the next bull run. Okay, because you don't want to be, okay, when everyone's jumping up and down all over Facebook, making hundreds of percentage gains across all these altcoins and everything else. You don't want to be sitting on the sideline not knowing really what you're doing, because that's when you start doing silly things with your trading. If you're learning trading, you start to fear of missing out. You start to just jump into random coins because you think they're going to go up in value, when there may not even be anything showing that there is good value for that coin at all. So it's all about being ready, guys. We've got to get ready for this run, okay? And that's what I'm trying to push and emphasize on now. The fact that I've created a website. It has a complete beginner's course on the website, okay? You can go through that completely free. No crap, no nothing. You put your name in, put your email address in. You can watch all of the videos. It gives you a complete overview of what to do, complete strategy recap, okay? So don't be lazy, get in there, learn it. Learn something new, it's good. Fraz says, hey dude, how does Bitcoin Cash differ to the others, Bitcoin, etc.? So Bitcoin Cash is, just to give you a quick 2-minute summary, Bitcoin Cash is what is called a fork of Bitcoin, and what that means is anybody who held Bitcoin at the time when Bitcoin Cash was created, the people who held Bitcoin get the same equivalent amount of Bitcoin Cash for free. Now, Bitcoin Cash was created because there was a differing camp of people who had a different frame of mind as to what Bitcoin Cash, as to what Bitcoin should be. Now, it's a long saga. There's heaps of news articles, heaps of stuff on it. So have a look into that if you want to learn more about it. But basically, Bitcoin Cash right now is treated like any other of the altcoins. Okay, it's not Bitcoin. It's like any of these other altcoins at the moment. They do have a good. Their idea is good as far as trying to get market adoption for everyday spending, that sort of thing. But Bitcoin itself have obviously adapted, and they're growing and they're changing the way that things happen as well to allow faster transactions and cheaper transactions as well. So they're going about it a different route. So it's realistically just a differing of agreements, and that's resulted in a new coin being created from the original version. Okay, so yeah, just make sure, guys, if you watch this video, I went into obviously some of my biggest mistakes when I was first starting, my own personal mistakes when I first started in anything to do with investing and so on and so forth, back when I got into Forex markets. Okay, so the whole thing about this live stream the other day, a couple of days ago, was to not, if you've bought Bitcoin at the peak and you're still around, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, anyone who has never invested in anything has to start somewhere, and you're gonna fuck up at some point. You have to fuck up to learn, and learning can cost a lot of money sometimes, but it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. If you learn along the way and you actually learn from your mistakes, you can avoid those in the future. So it's all a big learning curve, like anything else. Like, you don't just, you know what I mean? Like, when we're born as a baby, we don't just pop out of the womb and we get up and start running around. We have to learn to crawl, we have to learn to walk, we have to learn to run. It's like trading. You don't instantly just know exactly what you're looking at. After a while, obviously, it becomes second nature, and you just look at the chart and you can spot support and resistance, trend lines, triangles, candlestick patterns, all that sort of stuff. You can spot that instantly. It doesn't take very long to go through and update your charts and adjust your charts to see what you're looking at. So it's like anything, guys. Have to learn it. You learn from losses with trading. You don't learn from winning with trading. Okay. So you're going to have to take a loss at some point to learn lessons. That's just it. Any other questions in the chat? So if there's no other questions, I'll just go on a little bit about Bitcoin here. What we're looking for ultimately is, if we get anything like this happening. Okay, so this sort of zone around here is my next sort of zone. What's going on there? It's a big ass arrow. This sort of zone that I highlighted previously is, if we remain bullish, this sort of zone is going to come into play. Okay, this is a previous support and resistance level, support and resistance zone, and that's, this section here, back up here, if we retest this high, that's just in line with our 38.2 fib. If we get to that fib and we hammer straight back down, we're gonna retest this bottom level again. We're gonna retest possibly lower again. If we continue back up here, okay, so if we come through here, if we get back up anywhere around here, this 61, this 50, obviously this is over a little bit of a longer period of time. If we get any up near here, this is a longer term time frame trend line from all the lower highs that we've been making over the year. Now, if we start to break out of this trend line, that's when we start to see more bullish momentum. When we start to break these levels, this is when we start to see shorts getting squeezed out. This is when we start to see more momentum to the upside. This is when we start to see, again, fear of missing out. People want to get back into the market. I know people personally who basically wanted to buy Bitcoin cheap. Now we've come back down to like 3K, and they don't want to buy it because it's dropped too much. Compared to 20K, it's dropped down to 3K. They don't want to buy it because they're scared because it's dropped so much. Okay, I see that as a complete opposite potential. Like 3K back to 20K, that's a 6.5 times return. Back to 20K is definitely possible on Bitcoin in the long term. If we hit a good bullish market, there's no reason why we can't make new all-time highs over the long-term time frame. So anyone who's just getting into crypto, acquiring, all that sort of stuff, even if you're not trading, you know, any times like these, when we get nice dips to previous lows that, you know, this is like, this 3K level is like, hasn't been hit since middle of September last year. It's a 15-month low, okay? 15-month low. Other markets are crashing as well. Okay, the stock market has tanked a lot. Bond market's tanked a lot. I was looking at the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in the United States. And you can obviously see maxed out here up near what is their 3K level. Now you can see how much this has dropped. This has dropped, you know, almost 20%, and that's in a market. It's dropped almost 20% in 2 months. That's in a market that has been appreciating in the grand scheme of things over the last 10 years at 10% a year on rough averages, okay? Accumulating at roughly 10% per year, and then it's dropped 20% in 2 months. Okay, now as you can see, from a daily perspective, we've closed at these two previous lows here. If we start to dip below here, I've drawn in a couple of, you know, very quick trend lines here. Okay, if we start to drop below these and retest these, I'll probably even be short in this market myself. This may be a bigger short than what Bitcoin is, because this is the top 500 companies in the US. Now, same thing happens last financial crash, okay, back in 08, 09, and you know, it crashed from say 1500 to 600. Well, let's say 700. Let's say even it dropped by half. Okay, it lost 50% of its value. It went on to make new lows from the 2001, 2002 crash, which was very bad as well. So it's market cycle, guys. You can see every single market has a market cycle from this. This is the top 500 companies in the United States. Look how it can crash. Okay, anything can crash. Anything can go back to a bullish market. So we had a, you know, from about 30th of November 07. So we had a, you know, 18-month bear market on the top 500 stocks, and then we went on to have a 10-year bull market in the top 500 companies. Okay, so, you know, it's the same thing. It's like Bitcoin previously. Anyone that's buying in at any of these lower levels here, you know, they don't give a shit about a 20% crash up here, because they've bought all the way down here. They've been accumulating this whole time. Okay, when you start to see things like this, yeah, it would get scary, because obviously you've been compounding your investment and stuff like that. If people are in index funds and so on and so forth, they've been compounding their investments, and then they've all of a sudden lost 20% of everything that they've just been compounding and depositing to in the last 10 years. Yeah, they're going to be probably shitting themselves, but at the same time, they would have made massive gains over that time as well. This is what is setting up in Bitcoin again. Like, we're going to get another bullish run, and I just want as many people as I know or I can help to be ready for this next bullish run, for this next market. Okay, that's what I'm trying to educate everybody on as much as possible. So, you know, get in, guys, get learning. Spend some time. Spend 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Each of these videos is probably 15 minutes long. There's 8 videos. It's like 15 minutes a day over 8 days. Go over them, watch them a few times. The recap is obviously a lot longer. I think that's about an hour, but each of the other videos are probably, yeah, 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day. Watch one a day. Okay, get ready. Get pumped, get ready. Get into it. Any other questions before we get rolling? Otherwise, I'll call it there and get this uploaded for everybody else. Again, one last shout out. Anyone interested in a one-day workshop? January 13th, 2019, 8 Mile Plains, $50, limited to 30 spots. Yeah, Fraz, yep. Set your buy-ins the same way with BTC, basically. So start, like, if we start to dip lower, if you know, I know you don't have much Bitcoin at the moment, but anyone getting Bitcoin, I myself personally would be accumulating, you know, when we got down towards that 3K level, that would have been massive for me. I've already said on live camera multiple times, if we keep breaking lower and we get down to, you know, if we start to get down to anywhere near like 1,500, 1,300, like my freaking house is going on the market. If we get anywhere near here, like I'm selling my freaking house. And at the end of the day, it's your risk versus reward tolerance levels within yourself to be able to do whatever you want to do. But again, there's nothing wrong with scaling in from anywhere where we've been in the last, you know, in the last week or two. If you don't have much Bitcoin at the moment, check it every couple of days. Buy a little bit more as you go down. Let's say you have, if we broke it up into sort of percentages, if we go, you know, if you maybe scaled in at 5 or 10% of your capital every couple of $100 lower, that way you've got to appreciate the fact that if this is our new low, okay, if this is our new low and we start to go higher and higher from here, and this is the kickoff of the, let's say this is the kickoff of the next bull market, for example, if you haven't bought anywhere around this zone and then it takes off massively and you haven't bought anything at all, you're going to feel really bad, because you're going to be like, I saw a price down there, I didn't buy any, and I'm going to be kicking myself. At the same time, if you spent all of your capital at the moment to buy Bitcoin right now, and it did continue lower, because from a long-term perspective, from a weekly chart perspective, you know, we're just getting a pullback now from the last, you know, 4 or 5 weeks. So overall, the market is still technically bearish, even though we've had a massive day today. So this could just be a pullback to a normal pullback area, and then we could continue lower. So yeah, scaling in with your Bitcoin, yeah, so you get a slice. So if price continues down, for example, you know, and you're averaging in, let's just use round figures, for example. Okay, so you've got 10% of your capital at each of these levels, so 3,000, 2,800, 2,600, 2,400, 2,200. I'm just using round figures again. Let's say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just take that out and we'll just bump this to 20%. Okay, so let's say you use 20% of your capital at each one of these levels, right? 3K, and all of these levels hit. Your average is actually bang, smack bang in the middle here, because you bought some here, you bought some here, you bought some here, you bought some here, and you bought some here. So your average is actually pretty much smack bang in the middle. So that's dollar cost averaging in, and that gives you a larger upside potential Now, what happens is if price only gets down to here, okay, and you've only used 60% of your capital, and then price moves up from say 2600, for example, you've at least got capital in the market to play with. You've at least got something in the game. You know, you could spend the extra 40%, but at the same time, if you didn't, okay, and price didn't go any lower, your average over that 60% then becomes 2800, and the upside from there is your percentage gain on your 60%. So nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging in when you don't have much Bitcoin at all, or if it's money, you know, for other people. I obviously know your situation personally, but other people as well, if they've got money they've been putting away for investing and so on and so forth, should be money you're effectively happy to lose, absolute worst case scenario. So, you know, if price continues to go lower, that's your risk versus reward. Okay. And you know, if you want to have a mobile app you use to keep check, you're not near the PC. Yeah, you can just, the best site I use is just CoinMarketCap. Just CoinMarketCap.com. You can see that on your phone. It's really good on your phone actually. It just comes up with the dollar values. Bitcoin always comes up at the top, and it shows the current price. You can set price alerts as well on TradingView. So TradingView, you can actually set an alert. So up here you can go alert. You can say your chart here. Okay, you can say cross into the downside, and you put your value in at 3000. You can have it as only once. I mean, obviously you'd have to keep this open. If you've got the professional version of this, you can actually have it SMS you. You can have it SMS or email you if you've got the right version of it. Or you can just leave it open, obviously, if price is getting close to that level and you want it to notify you when price is going past. So, for example, if I was to set this alert, what would happen is, see, there's a manage alerts section here over on the right here, and what that will do is that'll trigger a sound once price crosses to the downside of this 3000 level. Okay. So let's say at the moment you haven't bought any Bitcoin at all, and you go, okay, well, I want to buy when it's down at our previous, I want to buy a little bit when it's down at our previous low. If we get back down there again, you can set an alert for like, say, 3200, 3100, and then it'll trigger an alert for when it's down there. There is another site which I'll show you, BTC markets, which I'll show you as well. BTC markets, you can actually set your trigger price. So I don't have an account with these guys because I obviously don't have fiat to buy Bitcoin with, but you can set order values on Bitcoin with BTC markets. So you can set your price limit there. So this one as well, I'll flick you that site afterwards, Fraz. Show you how to set that up. Ginger predictive text in browser should be links to all coins market cap. You don't need to really know what Bitcoin Cash is, just if the currency is looking undervalued, any of them, buy it and it'll change in like 7 hours. So yeah, I mean we've obviously had a big update at the moment. Now, you know, if that continues, that's good. If we drop back down, we need to check out what's happening on the altcoins. So a lot of them covered a few of them last time. You know, there's always a couple that have hit nice lows. I think we were looking at what was it? Was it? No, it wasn't Sis. Was it? Wasn't Ripple? Wasn't Bitcoin Cash? Was it Strat? The other day we were looking at this. Now Strat went all the way down to 30 Satoshis. Okay, 30 Satoshis. So, you know, if you had a low as hell buy order on Strat, even 50, even 100 sats, right? This is what I've got happening at the moment on a few altcoins. Is I've set just stupidly low buy orders in case people like this just go, nah, fuck it, had enough, I'm exiting the market. They just dump all their shit. They don't even worry about offloading it slowly. They just go, nah, this is crap, dump it, okay? And then it obviously eats up all the buy orders that are set in place. And if you've got an order in here, it gets taken out. It gets eaten up. Yum, yum, yum. Now, you know, I didn't get this, obviously. I didn't get this move. But let's say someone did. Like, someone bought Strat at 30 Satoshis. Someone bought Strat at 100 sats. If they bought Strat at 100 sats, and it's now 3,000 sats, a 30 times gain in like 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, okay? So at the moment, with things being so bearish, people are getting frustrated, people are getting pissed off. That's good. That means we're getting to that stage where we're going to turn, where the market's going to turn. And having a few little cheeky low buy orders like this on a coin, it is luck, yeah. This part, if you set a very low buy order and you hit a very low buy order, that's just pure arse. That's not technical analysis. That's not fundamental analysis. That's pure arse. But that is great pure arse, okay, if you get one. And I got a bunch of these last bull run, and they were freaking fantastic. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with having a couple of little cheeky low buy. I mean, I myself personally wouldn't have a 30 Satoshi value on Strat, you know, but someone got there. Someone got orders at like 30 sats. There's always one or two of them that are catching up. Yeah, certainly is, man. And the same thing happens in a bull market. So what happens in a bull market is you'll see a couple of, or a few different coins moving stupidly high percentages, okay, over the last 24 hours. And then you'll see obviously a bunch of coins that have moved up a decent percentage, but not crazy. And then the next day you'll see a few different coins here that have moved a massive percentage. So it just goes in a massive cycle again. So when the bull market comes again, stay away basically from the coins that have already pumped massively, because the chance for them to pump again, the percentage you're going to gain, even if they do pump again, is going to be much lower than other coins. Now, obviously, you still need to do your research on the coin. You don't want to just go buy any crappy coin that, you know, doesn't have an active team, for example. Just shit like that. Anything in the top 100 is probably not that bad. It's still risky. It's still risk versus reward. You still have to weigh that up. But again, yeah, that's what happens in a bullish market. Bitcoin Cash and Ethereum seemed obvious. Yeah, they did seem obvious. And there's nothing wrong there's nothing wrong, Ginger, with getting out early at the moment, because we're still, you know, I'm going to come back to this Bitcoin chart again. From a weekly time frame perspective, okay, we're still technically bearish. From a weekly time frame perspective, we're still technically bearish. So if you're picking up altcoins and stuff and you're setting obviously smaller percentage sell orders, there's nothing wrong with that, because if we're still in a bearish market, it's not going to move as much anyway. So mate, you're actually doing the right thing there. There's nothing wrong with taking still smaller amounts of profit there and flipping your account over, because the chance of a stupidly large move at the moment in this market is not the highest. So to pay a... Oh really? Altcoins you pay a 2% trade fee? Man, why? Get onto Binance. Get onto Binance. Get onto these other exchanges I've got up here. Binance, you know, Bittrex, Hit BTC, Poloniex, these sort of guys. They charge you like a point, you know, Binance is like a 0.075% fee or something. These are the oh yeah, Bitstamp. Changely, yeah, okay. Card purchase at the moment. Bitstamp. You shouldn't be paying 2% on Bitstamp. I thought Bitstamp was a was a typical exchange. 2% on Lightbit, yeah. Okay. The reason I obviously use Binance the most myself at the moment. Oh, okay, just where you happen to got in. Yep. There's nothing wrong with moving those coins over to another exchange. You can just simply withdraw them, deposit them on the other exchange. Top 100 by adjusted volume. The main reason I use Binance is because it's the #1 traded volume in as far as altcoins goes, and not being American. Yeah, I'm from Australia, dude, and I can go on any exchange. So Binance, I mean, technically Binance, you can make, they don't even have KYC. You can make an account and you don't even have to verify. And you can still withdraw up to 2 Bitcoin every 24 hours. So I would highly recommend, I'm just going to link you my site again, which basically has all of the exchanges that I use on this page here. Yeah, I'd definitely try Binance again. The high volume exchanges are the ones you want to be trading on the most, because they're the ones that move the most, especially during a bullish market period. They're gonna move the most amount of percentages. Okay, you can see higher sell orders being hit on a higher volume exchange because more people are missing out. The fear of they're missing out, and they just buy. It goes up, pushes price higher and higher compared to other low volume exchanges. So the higher the volume, the better for trading, especially during a bullish market. Like, it's just crazy how much more coins move on, say, Binance than other exchanges. So definitely I'd try Binance again, man. You can sign up with Binance with a Gmail account. You can make a free Gmail account. You can sign up to Binance. You don't even have to KYC or anything. You can just create an account. And you can withdraw still up to 2 Bitcoin per day on a free non-verified account. I mean, all the accounts are free, but you don't need to verify to be able to withdraw up to. You don't need to withdraw any more than. If you don't need to withdraw any more than 2 Bitcoin every 24 hours, just use the same account. Yeah, manually checking volume, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, definitely try Binance, mate. It'll be very good. Very good for you. Get rid of that 2% fee, man. That 2% fee is going to be eating. It's going to be eating your account. Screw paying 2%. Not even stock traders pay 2%. No way. Some people with charts calling things 30 seconds before it happens. Yeah, I mean, you know, ultimately you could sit on your PC 24/7 and just watch the charts all day. I trade more. I check my charts once or twice a day and look for movements from there. Once things start moving, like in a bullish, once we hit a bullish market again, 99% of my trading is done via buy and sell orders. So I don't even have to be on the PC for things to happen. And only in bearish markets like we're in at the moment, obviously, it pays to be on the charts a bit more for when you're looking for short opportunity. But once a bullish market comes, things are very easy. Yeah. But yeah, don't get away from them 2% fees. It was like a year ago when people were paying, 2, 3, 4% fees on bloody CoinSpot. This exchange called CoinSpot. They must have made some freaking money. Yeah, I mean, if you're trading the coins, there's nothing wrong with leaving your coins on an exchange. The only reason I tell people not to leave your coins on an exchange is the fact that if you're holding those coins for long term, let's say you're accumulating some Bitcoin for the next 3 years, for example, you don't really care about trading, you don't really want to do anything with it, do not leave that on an exchange, because if that exchange disappears, there goes your Bitcoin, kind of thing. If you're constantly trading, you need to have your coins on an exchange. We are starting to see decentralized exchange options having slightly more volume lately. There's one called IDEX Exchange. It's a decentralized exchange. It means you don't keep your coins on the exchange per se. Binance are actually working on their own decentralized exchange setup as well. So in the future, when it's easy, you won't actually need to keep your coins on an exchange, which will be good. You'll be able to keep them on, say, your own PC wallet, your own paper wallet, for example, your ledger, and you'll be able to use that to trade. The only problem with decentralized exchanges at the moment is it takes a contract for the trade to take place, and what that means is you have to pay for that trade as far as an actual fee and a contract fee. So that's why for new people in the market, this whole moving coins from your wallet, to an exchange, but then you got to pay a fee to do this, and there's a fee that you need. So you need to have, say, a little bit of Ethereum or something to be able to do the transaction. That's where a lot of people get confused. So at the moment, your normal typical exchange where you throw your coins on there and trade it, that's why they're so popular still, is because there hasn't been a good decentralized exchange solution developed. Yeah, I mean, from a long-term perspective, we're still looking bearish. You can see that very easily from, a bit on Bitcoin. You can see that very easily just on this chart. From a weekly time frame perspective, we're making lower highs throughout this whole range. We've accelerated to the downside from the 6K level, causing us to get down towards our 3K level. And now we're bouncing off that level, but that doesn't make us bullish. It makes us very short-term bullish, as far as if you were looking at a 1 hour chart or a 4 hour chart at the moment. Okay, this is a short-term bullish move. Doesn't mean the whole market is bullish until we start to form higher highs, higher lows, start to break out of things like this green trend line that I've got here, on a longer term time frame perspective. So whenever you're looking at your charts, always go top down time frame. People at the moment get caught up, or new traders get caught up. They'll use things like the 15-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the 1-minute chart, and all they see is this, and they just go, holy shit, look how bullish we are, this is awesome, we're bullish, bullish, bullish. And then you zoom out to a higher time frame, which has more, it's more important, and that whole move is just that big. That whole move over the last couple of days is just that big compared to all of this downwards pressure. So yeah, as far as actual Bitcoin is concerned, like longing or shorting Bitcoin myself, I'm still on the sideline with that. I'm not opening short positions here, no freaking way. I'm not opening long positions here as well either, because it doesn't tell me that we're bullish from a longer term time frame. So I hope that clears up. Yeah, I mean, you can always do that in a green day, like in a green bullish day. I mean, look at this, for example. This coin's just, oh, this is exchanges, not coins. Silly. But yeah, you got a few coins moving up. You get a massive movement like this. Other ones are technically going to follow suit to a degree. Not all of them are, obviously, but it depends on which other ones have pumped up in the last couple of days as well. Okay. Yeah, every year, halfway through January, price plummets. Yep, we've seen that over the last, however many years. So there's no real reason for it not to happen this year. So hopefully we get a nice bullish move, soon. Otherwise, we're waiting on fundamental things like ETFs. They just keep getting pushed back and back and back. That means ETFs are where institutional investors can invest in Bitcoin and have some sort of insurance. Okay, that's a massive regulation thing. That's why it keeps getting pushed back and back and back. So, people keep saying, wait for this, wait for that. But ultimately, it's not going to be just one certain thing that just pushes price high. It's just market psychology. So, as I was discussing earlier, probably about half an hour ago, even the S&P 500, which is US top 500 stock market, is down 20% over the last 2 months, and yeah, it's every market goes through market cycles, so don't stress out too much. Yeah, Ethereum, yeah. Sub $100 Ethereum was another good sight to see for a very short time. And yeah, Litecoin almost down to 20. It wasn't it? It was like mid-20s or something. But yeah, these are the times where we start to, like 23ish. These are the times where the market starts to bounce. These are the good times to there's nothing wrong with scaling in here as well. Yeah, Bitcoin Cash is always a bit. Bitcoin Cash for me was a bit weird based on the fact that we just had the fork, and we don't really know how low that's going to go. I emphasized on parity, meaning Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV, it's now named, heading towards parity with each other, and that did happen. And Bitcoin SV was above Bitcoin Cash for a little bit, and then they flipped back over. So from a longer term play, I've said in previous videos, I'm going to be watching these two. I'm going to be trading off against each other. If one is, say, much lower than the other, or one is much higher than the other, if it's much higher than the other, you could short it, for example, on something like BitMEX. If it's much lower, say Bitcoin Cash is much lower than Bitcoin SV, you could buy Bitcoin Cash, trade it back up to parity or slightly above if they flip again, that sort of thing. So that'll be a good long-term opportunity to trade these two off against each other. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing that along the way as well. But yep, nothing wrong with ignoring it as well. If you wanted to be a little bit more risk adverse, you could literally just trade Bitcoin Cash, still verse SV, but you could trade Bitcoin Cash. Like, let's say Bitcoin Cash was much lower than SV, you could trade Bitcoin Cash back up towards SV's parity and things like that. So that'll be something I'll be watching longer term as well. But yeah. So I've been going for about an hour, so I'm gonna kick it off here and get this uploaded. This will be uploaded automatically from YouTube once it finishes. If you missed the start of the vid, man, go back, check out the start of the vid. I was talking about a whole bunch of other stuff as well. There's another video I did a couple of days ago on biggest mistakes 2017, 2018 in crypto, and some of my own personal mistakes and things when I first started investing and stuff as well. So check that out if that interests you. But otherwise, thank you. Thanks Fraz and thanks Ginger for a chat. It's been a while on a couple of these live streams where I've been able to engage with people continually on the chat. So thank you, Ginger. I appreciate the input, buddy. Good to see getting some people chatting on here and stuff. So that's awesome. So thank you. On that note, guys, I'm gonna head off. Peace out. Again, one last time, if you don't have an account here, complete beginner's course, which will show you exactly how to trade for the bullish market. It's absolutely free. You put your name, your email address in. You can put dodgy details in if you really want to. I don't care. There's free videos in there, so jump in there, learn that strategy. It's very profitable in a bullish market, and have fun, guys. Enjoy. I'll catch you guys either tomorrow or Friday for another live. Take it easy. Good night and happy trading.